Tonight on Q2, a powerful winter storm bears down on south central Montana with heavy snow and dangerous travel conditions set to hit Billings and surrounding communities. We'll tell you how much you can expect and when the worst of it arrives. And if you're ready to experience Yellowstone in full winter mode, the park's cold season opening is just days away. We'll tell you what you need to know about access to roads and when they open. Plus, legendary paleontologist Jack Horner is heading to Butte. Why the Jurassic Park inspiration is teaming up with Montana Tech on a new project. The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Right now, we are in a winter storm warning with anywhere from 4 to 9 inches expected to fall from areas to Crow Agency all the way to Park City. We start tonight with a look at our roads in the area. It's pretty calm now, but in just a matter of hours, things will look a whole lot different. This is a look at the Montana Department of Transportation camera over the Yellowstone River Bridge in Billings. Dry conditions out there now, but as we well know in Montana, this route will look a whole lot different. And here's a look at Reed Point, where conditions are likely to turn treacherous in just a matter of hours. Always a troubling spot on Interstate 90, usually seeing plenty of blowing snow and crashes. For the latest, we turn to our chief meteorologist, Ed McIntosh, where winds will kick off the storm and any afternoon rain could quickly turn to ice as temperatures drop.
Here's an example of that afternoon rain taking a live shot off towards Miles City, where we've had rain showers and temperatures have just kind of been hovering at 36 for a while now. The humidity very high, so there's plenty of moisture to tap into. So as the colder air continues to surge in, temperatures drop. That could cause some of those slick conditions. Here's a live shot with the Stockman Bank weather cam over Billings, where we've got the clouds hanging around. We've had some periods of wind. So as those temperatures continue to drop after hitting highs today in some areas as warm as the low 60s, we'll see temperatures drop down to the teens and 20s overnight. Suddenly all those surfaces become very cold, and that could cause some slick roadways and sidewalks. And then on top of that, especially once we start looking from Billings off towards the north and east, we could see some heavier snow in these pink shaded areas. Everything from flooding in northwest Montana, bitter cold along the High Line, to travel concerns around the region. We'll talk about the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
The man accused of killing a mother and daughter in their Absaroka home and critically injuring 2 others appeared in court by video today as emotional community members filled the room. 23-year-old Tyler Allen Turney pled not guilty to 2 counts of deliberate homicide and 2 counts of attempted deliberate homicide. He's been held since Monday after police say he shot and killed Nyla Dawson and her mother Justine, as wounded Nyla's also wounding her father and a friend. Prosecutors allege that Turney traveled from Texas to reconcile with Nyla, then raping her and tracking her to her parents' home. Community members remember her as a vibrant young woman and Justine as a dedicated school board member who impacted many lives. A legal firestorm is erupting in Park City as residents accuse the owner of the Homestead Apartments of years-long sewage leaks they say contaminated their wells, tanked property values, and made their families sick. Now a Billings attorney is signing up clients and preparing for a fight. MTN's Will Wagner has the latest.
The Homestead Apartments in Park City remain at the center of alleged water contamination allegations. This time there's a growing number of nearby residents who are looking to sue. Attorney Drew Falkenstein with the AVA Law Group says he feels there's a serious case building.
In my experience, my personal experience being involved in cases involving contaminated water, that this is the first instance where I've seen human sewage contamination of a water supply.
Yet this alleged contamination is a long-running legal battle between apartment owner Gary Weitz, the Park City Sewer and Water Board, and the Stillwater County Health Department.
This is just one lawsuit filed in 2024.
It alleges the Homestead Apartments have been responsible for leaking raw sewage into the nearby water table for years. There are more than 700 pages here showing building safety code violations and plumbing failures, including non-draining showers and non-functioning toilets. But Weitz continues to claim he's had the water tested and there is no contamination. Weitz is fighting back, telling us he's filed a lawsuit alleging the city and county is violating his renters' civil rights. And most recently, he says he's filed a restraining order against city and county officials, keeping them off his property. Nearby property owners say while the long-running legal battle continues in the courts, their costs keep piling up. Now, they may have an answer.
My clients and the other residents of Park City who have had to go to any expense to make sure that sewage from the homestead apartments doesn't get into their well water that they give to their families, all of those expenses, all of those costs, at minimum, are recoverable in the case against Mr. Weitz.
Residents can look in a possible recovery at the Pops Inn, where Falkenstein says he'll be ready for community questions Thursday night in Park City. Will Wagner, MTN News.
Tonight in northwest Montana, dangerous weather is creating chaos on the roadways, and authorities are urging people to stay put. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is asking for necessary travel only. As this, take a look, massive flooding, even reported rock slides and mudslides across areas in the county. A viewer shared photos from a bridge on Farm to Market Road partially collapsing, and the National Weather Service confirms the bridge over Libby Creek has failed. Residents at the end of Vicks Lane are under a foot of water from the creek, and officials are continuing to monitor conditions and urge drivers to use extreme caution. Red Lodge Mountain is now dealing with its third straight day of weather trouble as powerful winds have forced closures and slowdowns on the slopes. Red Lodge Mountain, of course, bracing for another shutdown. The resort announcing it's closed today again because of high winds in the forecast, and crews plan to monitor those conditions overnight. They will make a final call in the morning. Skiers and riders are urged to check the mountain's snow report page for the latest updates before heading up. Reaction is pouring in tonight after President Donald Trump ordered the seizure of a Venezuelan oil tanker, a bold move that ratchets up the pressure on the president of that country. The action targets one of Venezuela's most critical sources in revenue and marks a new escalation in the administration's campaign against the regime. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
The Trump administration released dramatic video of members of an elite U.S. Coast Guard unit rappelling from a helicopter to board and seize an oil tanker just after it left a Venezuelan port Wednesday.
It was seized for a very good reason.
The Justice Department alleged the tanker was used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran, saying for years it's been sanctioned due to involvement in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
What happens to the oil on this ship? Well, we keep it, I guess.
This seizure marks an escalation in a pressure campaign against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Tensions remain heightened over the U.S. military buildup off the coast of Venezuela and more than 20 strikes on alleged drug boats.
Regime change, even though Maduro's a bad guy, I'd like to see him go. But us trying to force it is never been successful U.S. policy.
The Trump administration, which has accused Maduro of narco-terrorism, does not view his leadership as legitimate, and President Trump has said he believes Maduro's days as president are numbered.
We are not involved at all.
Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, spoke in Norway one day after a ceremony to award her the Nobel Peace Prize.
I believe that President Trump's actions have been decisive to reach the point where we are right now, in which the regime is weaker than ever.
Venezuela's government, in a statement, called the oil tanker seizure a, quote, shameless robbery, accusing the U.S. of trying to go after its oil. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And Montana's most famous paleontologist, the inspiration for the novel Jurassic Park, will be in southwest Montana this week. MTN's John Amey reports why Jack Horner is making his way over to Butte and how his latest project is connected to Montana Tech.
The Bureau of Mines and Geology here at Montana Tech has just published a new book on dinosaurs, and the public will get a chance to meet its famous author because, hey, everyone loves dinosaurs. Extinct dinosaurs. Extinct dinosaurs.
Tell me, a 6-year-old boy that doesn't love dinosaurs. And tell me somebody. I think if you read this, it'll take you. You'll rediscover that 6-year-old inside of you. That had that love of dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs of Montana is a book written by famed paleontologist Jack Horner and geologist Ray Rogers, exploring Montana's rich history with dinosaur fossils.
You know, we're the treasure state, but we're really the dinosaur treasure state. There have been more dinosaur specimens discovered in Montana than anywhere else.
The authors will sign copies of the book at a presentation on December 16th at 6:30 in the evening at the Montana Tech Library Auditorium. Horner, a University of Montana alum, served as technical advisor on many of the Jurassic Park films.
He's really been one of the giants in the field of paleontology.
The Bureau of Mines and Geology, located on the campus of Montana Tech, published the book, which sells for $20.
I think this would be an ideal gift. I'm sure there are a lot of people who would love to find one of these under the tree this year.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.